Hey, welcome to the Nursing Dose with your host, Dr. Farah Laurent. Today, I want to talk to you about interview tips for new nurses, but not just any interview tips, non traditional interview tips that you're not going to necessarily find on Google or any of your AI tools that you use. Okay. So, I'm going to get into it in just a moment. But what I want to start off by saying is if you're new to this channel, please don't forget to subscribe and please follow me for more content. My name is Dr. Farah Laurent. For those who don't know me, I help new graduate nurses land their dream role in less than 90 days, making six figures and getting their specialty positions like in the ICU, the ER, labor and delivery, NICU, psych, you name it. I've helped nurses get there. And yes, as nursing students and brand new nurses, because it is possible. Okay. And they're making six figures working in places like California and New York City. Okay. So let me just get my mic together here. What is going on? Okay. So we're going to get into it because I talk to so many new nurses on a daily basis, and so many nurses are struggling to get even to an interview. And when they finally do get interviews, all they're getting is rejection after rejection email, and they can't figure out why they can't seem to land their dream role. And I don't want you to just settle for less. I don't want you to just take any job and not be happy. So here we go. Okay. I'm gonna Okay, I'm having some lighting issues. So I'm going to get into these top 5 tips, and then I'll give you a bonus tip at the end. So make sure you watch till the end. Please subscribe. If you have any comments or questions, drop it in the chat. And if you happen to be watching the replay, same thing, drop any comments or questions in the chat. I'm also live on YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. So same thing with y'all, TikTok. Drop any comments or questions in the chat. Okay, so non-traditional tips for new nurses. Here we go. Number 1, before you even get to the interview stage, figure out what type of lifestyle you want. Okay, figure out your lifestyle first. So many new nurses think they just want to jump in to start working and then realize, like, oh my goodness, this is not what I wanted, or this isn't the shift I wanted. I didn't think it was going to be this way. So figure out what type of lifestyle first that you want to live, and get clear on the actual position that you want, and look at it in terms of, what is your long-term goal? If your long-term goal is maybe to be a CRNA, then you got to start in the ICU, right? Maybe you hate the hospital and you want nothing to do with it. Don't think, hey, let me get into the hospital to get experience, and then I'm going to go out here and do whatever it is. Some people want to do, let's say, Botox injections, or maybe they want to start their own practice or something like that. You don't necessarily have to work in the hospital setting. So get clear on what you want, get clear on the type of lifestyle you want, and what schedule you want before you start applying to all these jobs. And get clear before you apply to all the jobs. The worst thing you can do is apply to every single job, because it'll start confusing the recruiters and the hiring managers. And they're going to be like, what does this person actually want? Okay. So don't do that. It's a waste of time and you're going to be exhausted. So get clear, get in alignment, and figure out what type of lifestyle you want first, and then start applying. And just obsessed with positivity. Be obsessed with positivity. Don't talk to people who are negative, because it's just going to drag you down. Okay. So that's number 1. Number 2, when you get to the actual interview, this is going to surprise some of you, but I'm going to just say it. Number 2 is, do not be professional. Okay. What does that even mean? Okay. Just hear me out. What does professional even mean? Okay. So I think it trips up so many new graduate nurses, and they think being professional means like being super quiet, super stiff, like no personality, no laughing, like you have to be so serious. And I think that's what's actually causing them not to get the job because they sound so disconnected. They sound so robotic and monotone because they're just trying to be so perfect and professional, whatever that means or looks like, right? And you're showing up not as yourself. I always talk about what to wear. Wear something that's going to help you stand out, that's going to make you feel confident, and that you're going to look super good in. Don't try to just get, the tired old black suit because that's what they told you to wear. I've heard some nursing students say that some hospital systems tell them not to wear other colors, but like black. It's so weird to me. You can wear other colors, okay? Wear some other colors. I've actually helped multiple nurses in my coaching programs. One particular nurse, Jamie, I told her to wear a green suit, and she wore a green suit. She crushed it. She got the job. Okay? It's all about standing out, looking really good, and feeling good, literally, that you turn heads. Okay? And then be real and connect with the people. Have some enthusiasm. Show that, yes, this is my dream job. I really want this job. Don't be desperate. Don't come with the desperate energy, but come with enthusiasm, excitement, and show them what you bring to the table by being yourself and being real and having a conversation, right? If you don't have that personality and you can't connect with the interviewers, it's going to be very hard for them to hire you, especially in a nursing role where you're patient facing, talking to teams. Literally, we're dealing with people every single day. So they want to see that you're adaptable, you can hold a conversation, and that you communicate with confidence and clarity. Okay? So that's tip number 2. Don't be professional or uptight, whatever it is they're defining professionalism to be these days. Just don't do that. Okay? Be yourself. Okay? Bring some energy and personality. Okay? And I guarantee that you'll do better in your interviews. Okay? Number 3, this takes me to do not sound formal. Okay? What do I mean by this? Too many new nurses who go to the interview want to sound like a textbook. Take the textbook and throw it out the window. Okay? Stop with the terms, I want to provide evidence-based practice. Like, just stop. Don't do it. Okay? The more you simplify, the more you express with conviction and passion, use storytelling in your interview, the better you're going to do. Stop sounding so formal where it sounds like it's like an interrogative thing, like, hey, tell me about yourself. Why should we hire me? Tell me, da, 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 da. And it's like boom, 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 question, answer, question, answer. Like, it's so unnatural. Go in there and actually have a conversation. Okay? The interview should be a conversation with the other person. It should be a flowing conversation. All right? Because you're just telling your story. That's essentially it. And then you're just there to talk to them about what you bring to the table. And we're going to get into that in number 4. Okay? Many people, many new grads that I work with, the nursing students that come into my coaching program or that I talk to, every day, they're like, well, I don't want to sound like I'm bragging. Okay? But guess what? My number 4 is brag about yourself. Okay? We sometimes have a hard time bragging about ourselves or, saying really good things about ourselves because we think it's like arrogant. And I'm like, no, it's not arrogant. You're simply stating facts. Period. That's it. That's how confident you have to be. But you have to brag about yourself to get the job, right? Because if you don't, they're not going to know about you. So you have to brag about yourself, but you're simply stating facts. Did you get ACLS? Yes. Were you on a leadership board as a nursing student? Facts. Did you lead some type of movement while you were in nursing school, or volunteer, or be a tutor, or whatever you did? You're simply stating the facts, and you're going to take all those transferable skills and talk about how it applies to nursing. Are you a second career nurse? Maybe, like one of my past clients, Lindsay, she was a graphic designer, and she had an art background. She did a lot of stuff with like design, and she worked with engineers under pressure and different things like that. And I'm like, listen, you can take all of this, we're going to package it up, and you're going to brag about it in a way that connects with nursing. So it's all transferable, right? So be confident, okay? All right. And then number 5, I'm going to say be a little bit controversial. Okay, what do I mean by that? Most people are afraid to share their true opinions of things. Obviously, healthcare is great. There's a lot of positive things, but there are issues in healthcare and in public health, such as, for example, the public health crisis that's going on in women's health. Now, any of my clients that know me, when they come to me and they want to work in women's health, whether it's postpartum or labor and delivery, I'm like, you're going to go into that interview and you're going to directly address racism in healthcare. You're going to directly address how you're going to advocate for these patients, and you're going to take it on right in the interview and talk about it. Don't bounce around, the issues of structural racism in nursing and all these things, but bring it up in a positive way of like how you're going to be the solution to this issue, but don't go in there and not address it, right? And that is how you're going to stand out, because you're going to talk about real issues that patients are facing on a day-to-day in our healthcare system. Part of it is that, right, Black and brown women are actually dying. You see this on the news all the time, right? At least 3 to 4 times more likely to die due to pregnancy-related issues. So why would you not bring that up in your interview when you're interviewing for a labor and delivery position, and tie it to advocacy and how you're going to advocate for this population, and talk about how you're comfortable advocating, communicating, and advocating for the community, right? So some people might think it's controversial, but it's not. I'm going to say be controversial and bring up these hard conversations, because if you can't bring it up in your interview and you're not addressing it, are you going to be addressing it when it actually happens in real life? So that's what they want from you. They want to see that you're going to advocate and actually execute what you say in the interview. They want you to demonstrate that you're able to prioritize, you're able to critically think, but you're also going to give some stories, right? What are some receipts of times where you actually did advocate for a patient? They want to hear about that. They want to hear your thinking process, not just, I'm here to deliver, evidence-based practice. You got to come with a little more depth, and you got to be real. And that is what's going to win them over in the interview. So those are like my top untraditional tips for interview for new nurses, with these 2 bonuses. The other bonus, of course, is I'm going to say you need to lighten up, not be so serious in these interviews, and crack a joke in the beginning. Crack a joke, say something funny that'll break the ice so that the rest of the interview, is somewhat fun and lighthearted. And then add a little bit of, aside from nursing, this is what I do. So they can learn a little bit more about you, your personality, and who they're going to get on their team. Because essentially, people want to work with people who are fun, who are going to make it a positive work environment, right? So don't be afraid to crack a joke and connect with the interviewers, okay? And then lastly, of course, the other tip is get yourself a nurse career coach to prep for these interviews. You might think, oh, I got this. Like I can prepare on my own. I can just go on Google, or I'll just practice with my, one of my family members. But what is the cost of not investing in yourself? If you don't take the time to invest in someone like me, who's a nurse career coach, you could potentially have your dream opportunity, your dream job, let's say in the ICU. But you go to the interview and you're not prepared, and then you don't get the position, right? That's the cost. That's what you're paying. You just literally didn't want to invest in yourself up front, and you're like, you know what? I'll figure it out myself. I'll do it. And then this opportunity shows up, and then you're not even prepared. So my next tip, like I said, is contact me, right? I'm a nurse career coach, and I actually have a free webinar that I'm hosting live tomorrow, Thursday, April 16th at 1 p.m. Eastern, or 10 a.m. PST for everybody that's in the Pacific time zone. So I invite you to come join us because it's going to be a fun webinar. I'm going to dive deeper into these job search strategies, interview tips, and give you some tips on how you can get hired faster. What I'm also going to share at the end of the webinar is a little bit more about how you can potentially join my coaching program for new graduate nurses, and talk about who meets criteria to get into that coaching program. Okay, so let me know if you already registered. You can actually go to newnursejob.com and register. I know a couple people have registered on TikTok, so let me know if you've registered in the comments. If you haven't registered yet, go do so right now, and let me know in the comments when you do register. It's newnursejob.com. Or for everybody that's on TikTok, the link should be in the bio, okay? And let's say you can't make it tomorrow, no problem. Still go ahead and sign up so that when I have the next free webinar, you'll actually get a notification by email, and you'll know when the next one comes up. And if you put your phone number there as well, you'll actually get a text message reminder of when to show up for the next free webinar. So I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. If you happen to be watching the replay, same thing. Drop any comments or questions you have. For those on TikTok, if you see some of my videos, make sure that you comment if you have any particular questions. And what I can do is I will respond back with a video answer for you. And again, who is this webinar for? This webinar is for any senior nursing students across the US or Canada that's about to graduate or maybe in their last year, or any graduate nurse, again, in the US or Canada that's looking to get into a nurse residency program or to land their first dream role, right? Your first position. And I want you to know, you don't have to settle. You can actually get exactly what you want. You don't have to wait. I recently coached Savannah. She got into the emergency department right out of school, got a same-day offer, and she is in Northern California. Already, she started working already as an ER nurse. Brand new nurse. Okay, so it's possible. I have another nurse, Caitlin. She got into Stanford. Again, Northern California. Not only did she get into Stanford, she actually got 3 job offers in just the time frame that we started working together. Okay. I also helped another nurse get into the NICU. Her name was Emily, right out of nursing school. And the list goes on. Labor and delivery, postpartum, psych. And many of my clients are getting jobs before they actually graduate. So think about it. Think about how much time and stress that you can be saving when you get somebody like me, who's a nurse career coach, who will lay out the plan, lay out the framework, and give you the step-by-step play on how to get your dream outcome of getting that specialty position so that you don't have to wait. You don't have to do it alone. You don't have to wait 6 months or 9 months or up to a year. You don't have to settle for long-term care, nursing homes. You can get what you want right away. Okay? Because that's my story. I didn't want to wait to get into the ER. And my clinical instructor laughed at me. And she was like, you'll never be an emergency nurse. She's like, you're too unorganized. You should go to med surg. But of course, I didn't listen. And I was like, cool, watch me. I will be an ER nurse. And that's what I did. That was 20 years ago. And back then, this was in Canada. They weren't hiring new nurses in the emergency department. And there was no residency programs. But they took me in because I had the conviction and the belief, and I knew that I was going to be an emergency nurse, and no one could tell me any different. So that's what I want for you as new nurses. I want you to get what you want, and I want you to get paid as well, right? Because if you don't start working right away, you're literally leaving anywhere from $50,000 to $60,000 or $90,000 on the table the longer the time goes. 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, a year, right? Potentially you're leaving at least $100K or more. Okay? Because most nurses in New York City and California area are at least making $100K to about $180 to $190K. Okay? So I invite you, like I said, join me tomorrow, Thursday, April 16th, 1 p.m. Eastern or 10 a.m. PST. Go to newnursejob.com to register for my free webinar. Again, this is for all new nurses and for any senior nursing student that's in the US or in Canada. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. Couple things before I wrap it up. Please register for the webinar. Tell your friends about it. Repost this, save this, whatever you got to do. And subscribe to my YouTube channel. So I have a specific YouTube channel for new graduate nurses. So go to the Nursing Dose with Farah. You'll see all my videos there and you can subscribe. And then you'll also see all my past lives, but hit the video tab and you'll be able to see the specific videos for new nurses. Okay, so I'm going to stay on another minute. If I don't see any questions, what's up, Kimberly? I don't know if you're still on. What's up, Tanya Delgado? Who else is on here? Peds nurse, Tandy. Tandy, did you start working? So listen, Tandy watched a lot of my content and she actually, we didn't get the opportunity to work together, but just from her watching my content, she was able to get a PICU position in New York City. So shout out to you, Nurse Tandy. We got Jamie RN. I'm losing my voice. Heather, what's up? And then Dr. Kimberly Madison. Sony Bear, my accountability partner, what's up? And Wenderleen. Okay, and then we got Nurse Cat. So yeah, if there's no questions, I'm going to end this until next time. Please look out for more content. Save this, repost it, tell a friend, tag a friend, tell them about my free webinar tomorrow. They can go to newnursejob.com to sign up. Even if you can't show up tomorrow, Thursday at 1 p.m. Eastern, catch the next free webinar. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. And what else do I want to tell you? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. And then just look out for more lives throughout the week and more videos throughout the week. All right. Thank you so much. Hope this was helpful, and I will see you soon. Take care.